Yes, kudos to everyone trying to keep things flowing there at CLT.
All right, so just a heads up, Vanessa, I just got a report from that tornado warning.
Okay.
So we got our first report possibly tied to that tornado warning. It came from South Mountain State Park. An occupied camper was blown over on Dirty Ankle Road, possible tornado, and that's in the southern part of Burke County, right near the Cleveland County line, and they say possible tornado. So, so it sounds like a camper, somebody in a camper. So that would have been somebody very vulnerable, somebody maybe camping in South Mountain State Park. The whole camper was blown over. So unfortunately, that is exact. I'm looking at the lat and long of this. I'll try to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on our graphics here, Sean. But that is exactly where the rotation is. So I'm going to zoom in on this area. Give me a second. Okay, so the storm is passed. That was just relayed by Burke 911. Thanks to Chris White up there. They do a great job up in Burke County. So I'm going to put the storm reports on there. So right there, that's the report. You kind of see where it is. I'll pinpoint it here in a minute. Right there. So it came in at 7 o'clock. So right there, that was a possible tornado. So that is the first report I have of possible damage tied to that tornado warning. And I hope that person is okay.
Yeah.
It says it was occupied. Yeah, unfortunately, campers, by their very nature, they roll over pretty easy. We have a saying in the weather community: if you can move that structure, then Mother Nature can move it. So mobile homes, campers, cars, they're all movable things that we move. It doesn't take much for Mother Nature to do the same. So unfortunately, that's a very susceptible structure, if you will, to high winds at the very minimum, impossible tornado in this case.
Yeah, I feel like I talk about this case so much, but it's just because it's made such a huge impact on me. But when I worked in Florida, I remember having, as a reporter, to go out to a scene. It was in Duet, so it was in the Tampa area, and there was a couple that stayed inside their mobile home during a tornado. And I believe it was, because in Florida we don't get high level, tornadoes, if you will.
Yeah.
Like it's usually like an F0 or like an F1.
Weaker, like tropical tornadoes we get with storms and stuff, yeah.
Unfortunately, they did not survive.
Wow.
And I just remember hearing from their neighbors and their loved ones just so heartbroken over the situation. And you just have to think, like, what would I do in that situation? What would you do, I guess, Brad, if you were in one of these types of structures? Where would you go? What would you do?
Yeah, it's tough. Like that's a situation where I wish we had more lead time, because folks that are in vulnerable locations like that, in a mobile home, a camper, in a car, you try to give them even more leeway and say, hey, you need to get out of that and go somewhere else. But that takes time, right? You can't do that in 5 minutes. Like if I'm at home, I can run to my closet right now, or even here, I can run under the desk. You're in a mobile home, you got to get in a car, you got to go somewhere else. That takes time. And unfortunately, a tornado warning like today, which pops up really quickly, you've got like minutes. So what are you going to do? Now, this person hopefully is okay, but I will tell you, even in a vehicle or in a mobile home, it's not the best place to be, but getting towards the middle of that structure and holding on to something. Because I've seen people in mobile homes where the mobile home has rolled over and they survived, but they stayed in the middle. The exterior of the home was crushed and broken, but because they were in the middle of the house or that mobile home, they survived. And in vehicles nowadays, we tell you as a last resort, we hope it isn't, put your seatbelt on, lower your head, and stay in your vehicle, because the roll cages and airbags in modern cars, even if the car gets tossed, the cars are now safety features for rollover crashes. They can protect you as well in a rollover from a tornado or a wind. So it is something you can do. The one thing I will tell you is sometimes in some cars you have to start the car or the airbags won't deploy. So if you're in a vehicle and you park, make sure it's still running, put the seatbelt on so the airbags will deploy, the side curtain ones and everyone. But that would be what I would do if I had short time, is even in a structure like that, it's not ideal. There's always levels. I would love to go up several rungs on the safety ladder. Sometimes you can only go up one rung, and you got to take that. So go to the middle of even that structure. And even if it rolls over, hopefully you're in a safer part where you didn't get crushed or tossed around.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a silly question, but I think about the type of, I guess, weather pattern we're expecting this year. Is there, a way that will impact the type of weather we're seeing this summer, or how frequently we're going to see these types of tornado warnings or severe thunderstorms?
Not really. Today was kind of an anomaly. You know, when usually days ahead of time or even day of, we'll know, hey, there's a potential for tornadoes, 2%, 5%. There's shear in the atmosphere. Today was kind of a very localized event. We had two colliding outflow boundaries that just met at the right time in the right spot to spin something up.